McLovin, you got a poll question for me.
Okay, let's start with the NFC Beast, as I call it. Others call it NFC Least. Who wins this division? The Cowboys, the Eagles, the Giants, or the football team?
And somebody has to win the division. And I want to state this now to be implemented for next year. You must have a winning record to win your division and get a playoff spot. Otherwise, that spot becomes a wild card spot. Let's say it was this year and the Cowboys go 7-9. They don't get into the playoffs. It would go to the next best record as we go down the list there. Because these teams would be relegated. If this was the Premier League, all four would be relegated. But the NFC East is a nightmare. And the Cowboys, I got something for you. Hi, my record is 2-4. We've allowed 36 points per game. We allow 173 rushing yards per game. We have an NFL worst -12 turnover differential. The opponents have thrown 14 touchdown passes. We have picked off only one. I am the first place Dallas Cowboys, of course. Oh, man. You're watching last night and you're going, okay, they have injuries. But then you start to take roll call here. Now, you know where I stand on Ezekiel Elliott. I wouldn't have given him the contract extension. But look, they've got some contracts that are going to be anchors. And I mean, weigh you down and sink you. Amari Cooper, DeMarcus Lawrence. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, which you're probably saying, how could it possibly get worse? It will. And look, I'm in Andy Dalton's corner. I do think to get a backup like that, he's been a 3-time Pro Bowler. He went to the playoffs, I believe, 5 times with the Bengals. He's from the area. He understands what it's like to be, a Dallas Cowboy. And he did not look good last night. They have 2 undrafted rookies as their left and right tackles. That's unheard of. Their line used to be their strength. And, Michael Gallup drops a touchdown pass last night. They should have the weapons there. Zeke Elliott fumbles a couple of times. Arizona came in and wasn't afraid. It was, Kyler Murray didn't even play that well. Defense played great. But forcing turnovers, and Arizona has that ability to sting you. I thought that, when you looked at the NFC West, and I thought that was going to be the most competitive division because we looked at the Niners. The Rams are better than I thought, and Seattle was going to be a great team as well. And Arizona just has that talent and DeAndre Hopkins in there that they're going to surprise a couple of teams. I don't think this was a big surprise last night. I don't consider this an upset. I think Dallas was maybe favored by 1 going into this game, but this isn't a surprise, an upset. Arizona was by far a better team. Here is Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys head coach, after the latest loss.
Most importantly, I didn't coach very well. I have a continuing issue with ball security on my football team. Something I personally take a lot of pride in how it reflects how you play the game of football, and I'm not getting that done right now.
Here's Andy Dalton talking about the loss.
We're hurting ourselves with the turnovers, and we've got to get this fixed. It's been a trend this year, and especially early in games, and that's affected how we've been able to play. We haven't been able to play, run our full offense and run it how it should be run just because we're getting down in these games because we are turning the ball over. So we got to get this fixed. The ball's the most important thing, and we can't be handing it to the other team.
It always sounds so simple after a game. We just got to take care of the ball. We got to have better effort there. It's not that simple. So Zeke has to decide, hey, should I put 2 hands on the ball when I'm in traffic? Like something you learn when you're, in Pop Warner. Hey, when there's a group of people ready to tackle you, maybe hold on to the football a little tighter there. Yes, McLevin.
So do they have to bench Zeke? His fumble rate is way above what you can win with.
I don't think you can bench him. I don't think you can. Jerry handed out all these contracts like he was giving out breath mints. I mean, you're just going, eventually you got to look at the bottom line and go, I spent all of that and I got this. And then they're already talking about what they're going to do with Dak Prescott next year. Going to franchise. Dak may go, I don't want to come back and play for this team. I mean, I know it feels like it's out of the realm of possibilities that Dak would go, I don't want to be I don't want to play here. But you start to look at that team and because you played for the Dallas Cowboys, you're suddenly better than you would be if you played for Jacksonville or Cleveland or Cincinnati. And that's not the case. Like DeMarcus Lawrence, I think we had the same number of tackles last night. I mean, right? I mean, they have guys that you've heard of, but they're not doing anything. Yeah, McLovin.
So I'll go a little against the grain.
Okay.
Everyone's saying they're handing out too many contracts. Why would you pay Dak Prescott $40 million? That's 41 for the tag. That's the second highest contract in the history of the NFL. That's a lot of money for a huge injury risk. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what they're going to do, but that kind of screws them cap-wise even more. To put $40 million into one player next year?
Well, what happens is, you get that window of opportunity. We've talked about that on a monthly basis on this program. You get that rookie deal, and then you start to fill in the other areas, and then you pay people. And that's, Dallas had the window of opportunity when you're drafting Dak. He's not a first-round pick, so that hurts you with 1 year sooner where he came up for a big payday. But it's just the other signings. I mean, Amari Cooper is making $20 million a year. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be making, what, $22, $24, $26 million the next 3 years? The offensive line is in shambles. Zeke Elliott, that contract? I don't care if they got Lombardi from the Packers instead of Mike McCarthy. This ain't happening anytime soon. Cowboys had 4 giveaways last night against an Arizona team that came in with 3 takeaways all year long.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
Yes, polyester.
You can forget about getting rid of Zeke Elliott anytime if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. He is locked up through 2022 at the minimum. If they decided to cut him, they'd not only still have to pay him, he would hurt them terribly against the salary cap. He's locked in until the start of the 2023 season.
And I'm not saying you cut him. I think he's still a good running back, but how you use him, they became a pass team. It was Zeke helping Dak set up the pass, and then it became Dak is going to throw the football. So why would you spend all that money on Zeke Elliott? But they may still win the division. Crazy. Yes, McLovin.
I'll give you a deal with the devil right now. If you're the Cowboys, I'll give you 7-9 right this second. Do you take it?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Because I think that wins the division.